real, keeping it real.
Well, okay, we're keeping it way up in Rio. We are back with your Purple Pants podcast coverage of the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 9, episode
Purple Pants
14.
Podcast Potomac.
Yes, covering episode 14 and 15. I'm joined by my amazing, my beautiful, my talented, and my hyphenated friend, Dr. J'tia Taylor Hart is back with us. How are you doing, friend?
I'm good, whether you got it wrong or right, because I just like you to get it. I just like you to guess. So I am so happy to be here. I hope everybody is staying warm. Ooh, stay warm.
Yes, we are here to talk about episode 14 and 15 of the Potomac Housewives. But I always like to give y'all some tea on the street when we start these episodes. We know that they have shot the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. We know Karen was not there. Andy went on his radio show podcast and was saying that the reunion. Now, mind you, first of all, he said this about every reunion that he films. I've never really heard him say the reunion was trash and y'all shouldn't watch it. So he hypes it up. But he does say, he does go on record, and Wendy was on Watch What Happens Live this week. And she also confirmed that this is top tier Potomac reunions. They say it compares to when Monique bought the binder, is what they are comparing it to reunions. So I am super excited to see what happens with that. I'm even more excited. I do have a birthday coming up in a few weeks.
How old will
And,
you be?
huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you count that high? Um, no, I am super excited for your birthday. So,
Yes.
you have any cool plans?
I do. One of my really, really good friends, best friends, Survivor Sister podcast host has decided to take me
Tasha?
on.
No, I'm kidding. Go. You're
Has
talking
this
about me.
I
Yay.
am has decided to take me on a trip. I don't want to give too much information out because when you go on a birthday trip, you gotta bust out the birthday photos on a birthday. So I don't want to give too much, but I am excited that J'tia is taking me on a birthday trip this year. So we will be together soon and it should be exciting.
It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be, Maki, that we can't wait. We're going to cuddle, which is one of my favorite activities that I have been doing with Brice since I first met him. So we're definitely going to cuddle. I call Big Spoon first. I'm going to fork you as well. So we're going to have lots of fun activities, and we'll have to provide some action shots from, the adventure.
Yes, 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 yes. And if you guys watched Survivor Cagayan, what J'tia was like on that brain tribe the first 3 days is what she is like in person. She likes to plan. She likes to know ahead, even though sometimes the plans don't always come into fruition. But
I mean, you have to have a plan to start out from. That makes the most sense. So I don't
so
I don't understand
I'm
the problem.
I'm excited, and let's just say the outfits are ready. Okay, ready
Look,
on deck.
the trip has made it out of the group chat.
Okay, the trip has made it out of the group chat. J'tia likes to say stuff months in advance and then send random Google invites that just continuously pop up and pop up and pop up and pop up. Because mind you, I don't want to talk about it too much, but we could just get into it a little bit because J'tia has also with this birthday trip. She has sent a Google invite that has been sending me reminders for 3 months. And then in the summertime, J'tia has volunteered me. And I'm like, I didn't
Mhm.
even say yes. Why am I? And I like how like
Of course you said yes.
when the
Those are your
Google I get the Google reminder updates. I like how like the event kind of has like the title of the event be changing, and I be like, because it's but obviously I will confirm to that, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, we are here to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 14 and episode 15. Let's just be clear, episode 14, not really much to get into. However,
um
I think some big topics or the biggest takeaway from me, well, not the biggest takeaway, but we Wendy reveals at the table while we were in Panama that Deborah is countersuing Kiana for $7
That was
million.
messy. First of all, that was so messy. She did not. Oh my gosh, it just broke. It just came out while we're on this trip. We must discuss this. This empty, baseless suit. First of all, I don't know if Kiana has $7 million. I'm sure. Look,
Greg
Kiana
might.
is that they ain't married. First of all, so they look. Greg, smart move, Greg.
Oh,
Also, yeah. So it's not combined assets. Also, maybe her business has $7 million, but my girl Kiana is a businesswoman, so I'm sure that LLC is locked up tight, so you won't be getting none of that. So I don't know what you want. Some forehead cream. I don't know
and
what you're gonna get if you do win it. And also, it's just baseless. Girl, you threw a glass at that woman and cut her forehead. She had to go to the hospital. She has medical bills. You have nothing. I do love though that Wendy, and this is what's funny, is Kiana is her friend. It's her friend of. Yet you dropping all this in front of, she done took punches for Candace. Now you telling her business, right? You reading the whole allegations. Miss Williams, this, Deborah, blah, blah, all this. She is indeed the villain, not the victim. And then go end it with a little call out talking about Dr. Whistledown, like you spilling the tea. I mean, that was funny, but that's supposed to be your girl.
well, I mean, she did make Deborah sound crazy. Like the article read, Deborah is fame, attention seeking. So I feel like she was protecting Kiana and kind of bringing it up.
How would you like it if I read out all your allegations
I
in
mean,
front of a group?
we
I
are
mean, your allegations, like the
th-
ones.
okay. There aren't much. There aren't many. There's not even one.
Okay.
So you can read whatever. But I mean, I appreciated Wendy for bringing it up to the table. Now, mind you,
Mm.
uh what was even I think the most juiciest thing that happened on episode 14 was the ladies were at this breakfast and Kiana brought up that she's been with Greg for 3 years. She really wants to get engaged. She feels like the girl math. She's in her 30s and she like is on a timeline. Now, it really made me think of you, J'tia, because I was like, I have to ask J'tia, does this time frame match with J'tia's time frame? Because when I met J'tia while we were filming Cagayan, I was the third boot, she was the fourth boot. We were forced to become friends at Ponderosa, and after we became friends,
The
J'tia
fourth
started.
thing I want to say was done by me.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
She
All right.
broke into my bungalow. Anyway, J'tia was as we were getting to know each other, we used to have these morning talks. We used to get coffee and then we would sit on my porch. J'tia was telling me how before we left for Survivor, she had met this man. They went on one date. And as we're sitting on the porch, J'tia was like, I've been really thinking about him a lot. And if he's the one, then 6 months we'll be seriously dating, 7 months we'll be engaged, a year we'll be married, a year and a half we'll have kids. Now, mind you, I'm sitting on the porch rocking, and
Thinking
I'm
I'm
like,
crazy.
J'tia is crazy. I'm like, she just met this man. I don't know. She's like, no, I'm a woman of a certain age, and listen, I'm not dating to play. Now, mind you, fast forward till we get home from Survivor. I want to say that spring, I was in Florida for their wedding. A year later, I was in DC for your baby shower. A year and a half later, was at another baby shower. A year later, I was at a house in Virginia. So I'm not mad at your math, girl.
Let me tell you something. So this is the thing. You can't just give an ultimatum to anybody. I will say that, right? Or however you want to. I knew my audience, right? And I knew who I was. But like I feel like if you are with a man, you do have to, figure out, or a partner, you have to figure out their sensibilities. They don't work with somebody. Some people get like offended at the, thought of planning. That's not a person I would be with. So, good to you for Kiana. But I was like, at the time, I was like, I'm not dating somebody for more than 2 years. I'm a grown A woman with a grown job and 401ks and saving plans and assets and home.
You don't have a home?
I have 4 homes. Okay. So, shout out to Kiana, girl, but 3 years and then you taking me on a lovely trip to Paris and you ain't proposing. I think she just need to move on. Like, what are you doing, dude? Are you serious or are you not serious?
And
I think,
then
okay,
what's your
go
thoughts
ahead.
about when the girls ask if Greg is supportive and Kiana says that
Okay.
after the
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
brawl
Uh-huh.
that like
Uh-huh.
they went to Paris because he was really concerned about her and that he took her just to love on each other. Then we hear through the
Yeah.
grapevine
She
because
thought she was gonna get engaged.
okay, because Ashley was feeling bad that she brought Deborah into the group, and we learned that throughout that season, Deborah was talking to the girls like Greg is taking me to Paris, and he's probably going to pop the question. And so after the fight happened, it seemed like Greg did not pop the question. The ladies bring it up to Kiana. Kiana says,
So I'm gonna bring this back and give you the ultimate person who changed their mind. It's like you have to understand that being on one of these shows is a business opportunity. It gives exposure to your businesses. If you got 5 wick candles, if you got a talk show, and so he needs to understand that this is a business opportunity for Kiana. No, it's fucked up. Deborah, getting her, slapping her in the head with a piece of glass or whatever, and her that is unfortunate, but it's a business opportunity. And I am going to go back to Mr. Greg Leaks
"Oh, come,
as the
all right, rest in peace.
rest in peace, but as the prototype, honey. Because when Nene first got on Atlanta, he was
Greg borrowed $5,000. $5,000."
yes, he was not very supportive of her being on the Housewives. Baby, he turned into the purse holding goat. Okay, honey. And he was like, whatever you like, you know what I'm saying? Like getting their family's opportunity, getting Greg's opportunity. So this Greg need to follow in the goat Greg Leaks and get on board the train. Choo choo, because Kiana is probably has more attention to her beauty business. And I feel like she needs to step into her power and boss up on that dude. Boss up on that dude. And if he can't take it, get you a new one.
And not to mention, while she's been on this show, I feel like we've spent more time at Greg's practice than we've been at Kay Stewart's beauty. So Kay is, doing what she can do. But it's just very interesting because Wendy says she in fact knows whether or not Greg was going to propose or not. She asked Kiana in front of the group, like, do you want to know? And Kiana's like, no, it's okay. But
No,
Kiana,
why would you do that to your friend? First of all, again, why would you do that to your friend? Because if he was going to propose and he didn't, then it looks messy. And
well,
no,
clearly
you
he was
don't.
going to propose, but I mean, that's just, yeah,
I
crazy.
also think, yeah, he'd be the child. He wouldn't be my man.
Mm.
Look, she, what the folks say, she better than me.
Well, listen. Then Jacqueline and Ashley. Well, Jacqueline and Mia. First of all, you know what? I don't even want to say this because, like, the more and more we hear about these stories of Jacqueline and Mia, they seem to
I just
change
want them to
each.
hush. I just
They
want them to be quiet.
they seem to be changing each year because now it's like when they were younger, Mia had Jacqueline watching her have intercourse and then would bring her in. Like, because I don't want to say it, but it kind of like it sounds like grooming, but I mean, but anyway, like I don't understand. I really believe that it's not Mia and Ink, it's not Mia and Gordon, it is not. What would you say? It's not Jacqueline and PP. It is Mia and Jacqueline because they just be sharing more information that we need to know. And then Ashley or Ashton of Pusakatita, she gets, Ashley went a little
She's a
smoochy.
little jealous. So I think this is funny because I just be wanting them to stop talking about
Okay.
like it's so funny because the way that the girl Dom felt is the way I was feeling. I was just like, oh my gosh, let's look. I felt like I was on boat sick. Okay. And I was just like, y'all just too much. It's too much information. Just cállate la boca. Just be quiet. Don't talk. Don't just hush, child. Because they just be like, I don't know. I think they be trying to be like, oh, how much should I say? And da 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 da. I mean, and everybody was just looking uncomfortable at this point in time. Like it's not even funny anymore. Like sometimes they
Yeah.
do talk about this and it's funny, but it was just kind of like uncomfortable and weird.
Yeah.
And then it's so funny because out of all this, what you get is this moment that like Mia is kind of like protective over Jacqueline, right? And like that's my girl. That's we do stuff. And it's very funny because here come Ashley, Ashton, Ash Top, whatever, sneaking in, being like, I want to sample the goods. And that's just funny to me. So,
Karen said, "Oh, you need a tetanus shot. You don't know what you've been kissing on." And then that was an interesting thing. And then I guess at season or episode 14 kind of leaves on this cliffhanger. We know when they got to Panama, when he didn't know where the kids were, she couldn't think. Oh my God, Gordon came and took the kids. But now we know where they're at. Now we know that they're safe. And then when everyone is flying back to Potomac, Mia is making a detour to Atlanta, what we presume to see Ink. And everybody's like, well, girl, weren't you really concerned about your kids? Shouldn't you like go check on your kids? And she's like, I've talked to them. They want to stay on the farm. And then Mia in her confessional reveals that like she has 3 kids. She's going to see her oldest son play basketball. Okay, Mia. I think that just speaks volumes enough because one, I don't have any kids, but if my mom lost my turtle and I'm in Panama and we don't know where my turtle's at, I'm on the first thing smoking because I don't play about my turtle. So the fact that like you stayed in Panama, now when you're returning home, you're going to see Ink before your other 2 kids sounds a
She's
little
going to a basketball game, okay? Look. But
okay.
I agree. It's all messy. It's all messy. And she did make a huge deal out of, not being able to see her kids and Gordon is crazy, da 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 da. So I don't know. It does not seem it seems very unmeasured. Like she's here, she's there, she's everywhere.
Yeah. And then we get into episode 15. Now, episode 15 was a lot better than episode 14. We had a lot of things to unpack. And I think the Kiana topic was really interesting because we saw Wendy, Kiana, and Giselle, which I was like, okay, I like this trio. And actually, before I even go into this, I really want to say this because, a lot of our people that watch us on YouTube, there is some people that be like, we hate Wendy, all this stuff. I want to go on record. This season, I really feel like Wendy is carrying the back of this season. Like Wendy has transformed into the Housewives of Potomac, right? Like it's like if we didn't have a Wendy this season, I am concerned about what is this season because it's really not the greatest season. But like Wendy really is the wife, the friend, the bone bringer, the person to bring the group together. Like I really feel like with everything going on with Karen, Giselle losing Robin, Mia being loving hip hop, Wendy has really been kind of holding the fort down. And I just want to give Wendy her props because she's really doing the damn thing. So shout out to you, Wendy.
I think I will say I do think Wendy is a solid, reliable character and not on the fringes. Yeah, it's like she's buried the hatchet with Giselle. She's friendly with everybody, and yes, she can bring everybody together. And this is usually where Karen is, but now Karen has her own drama, and so she can't do that as much. I will also say that like her looks, she's you know what, she looks good. I'm not
She
gonna
does.
I can't not say that. She does look good, but she also feels like she puts a lot of effort into how she looks. I mean, I don't know if
Sometimes
that's
you got
like,
to.
yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's definitely showing. Like she's definitely planning her outfits and her looks and stuff like that. She also feels like she is the style book for all the
Okay.
other Real Housewives. I thought that was a very interesting comment because I was like, girl, your styles are not that unique for you to be thinking that everybody is copying them. I was like, that white table set with white on white on white, girl, been done. Okay, you did not invent that. Okay, but whatever.
Well, listen, we love Wendy. So take that, haters. Okay, what you gonna say about that? Anyway, but Giselle, Kiana, and Wendy get together. During this meetup, Giselle kind of really lets us know that like her stylist from season 1, Cal, Cal that got kicked out of Sharice's house when they came over to Sharice's house to do the crab boil, and Cal was like, I could do your hair. And Sharice was like, I don't need you to do my hair. And anyway, Giselle reveals
She did
that
him a little dirty.
okay, she did Giselle a little dirty. But she reveals that Kiana and Cal are friends, which makes a lot of sense to if you remember last season when they went on a trip and like no one checked up on Kiana, but Giselle did. I was like, got it.
Okay, so point of order. It did not say they was friends. I think they used to like date, like before Cal was Cal. That's what I got out. Is that not what you got out of it?
Cal is gay.
I know that. But I feel like they went to high school together and she was like, they dated. You know how before you come out, you be dating,
I was never dating girls. Never.
that's how you know.
I'm saying I was never dating girls, so okay, I'm just saying I got they was friends,
Oh,
but
okay. Look, I'm gonna look it up. But go ahead, keep going, keep
thank
talking.
you.
That's what I
So
got from it.
Kiana has the ladies meet them at K Stewart, okay, K Stewart Beauty, and she talks about getting married to Greg and how Greg is just very traditional and he doesn't want to marry anyone that wants to hyphen their name. He wants them to be, I don't know, whatever his name is, Stiller. And Kiana is like, I came from a single family home. My mother was a single mother. You know, the name Stewart means a lot to me. And
Um,
yeah,
I'm with. Go ahead. How do you
I was
feel
just
about
saying,
this?
I I don't know because then Kiana says, "Well, as long as I could publicly be Kiana Stewart, I don't mind legally being my married name." But I was like, again, makes me think of J'tia because Dr. J'tia Taylor Hart, you are definitely hyphenated.
I am actually not. So that is
Oh,
funny that you bring this up. I don't ever correct you because I think it's hilarious. I did not want to change my name at all. I didn't want to hyphen. I didn't want nothing. I just
so
wanted my
you're
name to
Dr.
be mine.
J'tia Taylor.
No, I am Dr. J'tia Hart. I
Oh.
moved my maiden name to my middle name.
Uh,
I will tell you that I was adamant about getting married, and my husband was adamant that I take his last name. And I heard, look, I understand.
so
And I'm fine because you know what? I wanted everybody in our family to have the same last name. And so because it was um annoying and people still get my name wrong and all this other kind of stuff. But I understood where he was coming from and I knew
not people
that
still
it
get your name wrong. Ooh, oh, shot.
but I understood where my husband was coming from. And just like he understood that I wanted to get married, I had a timeline. I was very, all over that. He was all over this. And, I respected him. So
So you are on Greg's side. You see Greg's point in this.
I do see Greg's point in this. Yeah. Like if we gonna be together, we gonna be together. So yeah. And yeah, girl, I see you come from a single family. So unless you want to continue coming from
Oh,
a single, I mean, girl, look, I'm not saying everybody has to change their name. That's a personal decision. But I think in this case, like, yeah, get a man. You really want to get married. He really want to be a family. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's what we do in our society. I wish society was different, but it ain't. So
a little later on in the episode, Kiana reveals that Greg actually doesn't like Kiana coming around and being a part of the group. Greg kind of sounds like TJ a little bit. Greg doesn't like the fact that she is not home to make him dinner. She has been going on
you
these
see that?
trips. I did see
Okay.
going on these trips with the ladies, taking her away from home. Like, so what did like I'm assuming Kiana on this season probably has made somewhere around $130,000. What did you think she was going to have to do to make this $130,000, Greg? Like, and so Greg is just not a fan of Kiana in the group.
Whatever, Greg. Look, you need to go ahead and keep filming in your office
Oh,
and get that shmoney. You need to realize that this is entertainment. Look, Greg. If you don't like it, go on. Go on. And tell and be I think he should be straight up. Like if he doesn't like it, he needs to tell Kiana. Kiana needs to make a decision. Boom, there it is. So I mean, it's life. We all have to make decisions. If I think that again, these housewife shows are lucrative, they are a business. You need to know how to work it. But also, it's not like Greg can use a little bit of therapy so he can get
mm,
his priorities
mm.
in order. I'm not trying to be funny, but like sometimes you have to get your priorities in order. Like, are you trying to make this money and be with your woman? Because if so, all of that needs to fade to the background. He could do with talking to Uncle Ben and some of the other daddies and baby daddies and stuff like that. Because you do have to know how to play your role. You do have to know how to play your role.
Yeah, I think he needs to talk to Eddie. I think Wendy's husband, Happy Eddie, is the perfect example of this because as quiet as it's kept, Eddie is the breadwinner of Wendy and Eddie. Eddie finances a lot of her Wix, her YouTube shows. But Eddie very much, in my opinion, he reminds me of a young Greg Leaks, right? Like where Eddie is very secure in his wife, their relationship, their finances, and what she brings to the group. It's like Greg could really take a page out of Happy Eddie's book. And it's like, I feel like Kiana has done a really good job about bringing mental health and therapy to the forefront of this season. We've seen her talking to Mia, like bringing her pamphlets from Greg's practice. It's like, if Greg can't see that, yeah, Mia might be, not Mia, that Kiana is on this show that can be messy, but she is doing her part to hold it down. And it's like, I'm sorry, I do want a partner that is classy, elegant, but also if it pop off, I do want a partner that I know can nuck if you buck. And so it's like, I really do like Kiana. I it's
I
sad.
like Kiana. I do. And so, but I think it is, so Eddie is also a lawyer, an attorney. And look, I had to look him up
I
while we was
see.
talking. You know, I'll be looking it up, babe. I'll be doing the research. And so I think that, yeah, you just have to know where you are and be secure. So this is the stem, how it stems in all these things, is that sometimes these women and the men, these people on the show, are insecure in
Mhm.
themselves. And I will tell you, and you know this too, that reality TV can make you very insecure about yourself, right? You be second doubting it. You see, they might grab the worst uh 10 seconds of your life when you dumping rice on the fire because you mad at somebody. And that becomes who you are. And that's not always who you are. And you need to have a sense of self, but it does take it does takes a minute. So I just want Greg to pull up before he lose a good opportunity and a good woman.
Yeah. And then the Real Housewives of Potomac had a meeting. Okay. Ray and Gordon
The
went
Real
to
House
lunch.
Husbands
The
of
Real
Potomac, honey.
Housewives. Okay. But baby, when I tell you, I was here
The
for
Real
this link
Housewives.
up because let's be clear. Ray came for lunch. And I'm sorry, Ray and Gordon are true older black men. They really remind me of my mom's husband, my stepdad, John. First of all, anytime John eat, he got to get something sweet afterwards. Like it's just they went to
Mm.
lunch, okay? While they was talking, Ray bust out in a prayer. I was
For
here for
the look for the nourishment of our bodies. I was like,
okay.
if that ain't an old black prayer, I tell this to my husband because he's white. I was like, babe, whenever you say a prayer in a black household, you got to include the nourishment of our bodies. So,
In Jesus'
uh,
name.
in Jesus' name, look.
Mhm.
So it was a black spiritual prayer. I love it. I think they should have more Real House Husband Potomac get-togethers. Throwing Eddie in the mix and Greg in the mix because I
Well,
think
you know
they're.
they used to do it a lot when we had Juan Dixon.
Yes, because there was animal attractions going on. But I like to see the husbands. The husbands typically are a little bit more level headed. And, basically, Gordon says, he has the kids a lot. He refutes this full custody claim. And so it's just like seeming really different from the picture Mia paints. However, I'm going to tell you how I took it though, right? So, first of all, Gordon can't do fractions because he's like, I had the kids 25 of the 30 days, and then somebody busts out with 24/7. I'm like, 24/7 is 100%. But the mathematician, like the math person, he was like, that's not actually. Anyway, moving on. I was like, the numbers ain't adding up, but he paints a very different picture. For me, as soon as he said it, I was like, I'm not trusting anything Gordon says. Um, I can't take it at face value of the things that he says. Like the paternity test, I'm pretty sure, the paternity test. I don't know when he took it, how long ago, but he basically intimates that Mia has long known for a long time, yada yada yada. So
I
good
believe
old
that.
Ray, honey. Good old Ray, baby. He take it home to his woman. Okay. Let
Okay.
me tell you something. Ray
And,
taking it home to his
and
woman.
mind you,
So
I felt like Ray was adding some stuff when he was
I
telling
do
Karen.
feel I
Like
I do feel like he put a little stank on it, and I was not mad at it. So I was like, take it, Ray. So and one thing Karen does is ride for her man. So when Ray tells Karen that he heard a very different story painted by Gordon, look, she is livid. She is livid. She was like, because my man, I know my man gonna bring back the good goods. And so she is automatically ready to bring this information back to the group. And she does.
and
And
she
she does
does.
not take it straight to the source. She takes it to her good bosom buddy, Giselle. So
And
she's
I
telling,
okay.
go ahead.
I
Go,
was
go,
gonna say, and
go.
I love that because I feel like Karen and Giselle are on good terms. And Karen brought this to Giselle because obviously she knew that once that Giselle heard this, Giselle was going to be on go because Giselle still feels some type of way about Mia and bringing up her children with bringing
Yes.
boys to the door. And it's like this information, handing it to Giselle, like Karen knew what she was doing because obviously with everything that Karen is going on, and she is pre-diabetic, so she is on Ozempic, not for weight
Look,
loss.
don't
But
don't look. Okay, look. First of all, don't this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, but we'll get back to that. First of all, so yeah. So Ray basically tells Karen the tea that he got from Gordon, which is different from Mia's story. Then we cut to Stacey and her financial decision.
oh,
And I cannot. I'm just like, girl. So it's funny because she is sitting up there detailing, that she met with the lawyer, and what the lawyer said, that the lawyer could be retired for every woman going through a separation, divorce, whatever, custody battle, who thought she was going to be taken care of and then wasn't.
yeah. I
Look,
thought that was crazy. That it's like, okay, and mind you, first of all, kudos to that black lawyer, because I love how she was just asking the questions like, so you're saying that you're willing to waive child support, but you want alimony. Is the same reasons that you are saying you want alimony could be very true when it comes to child support. Now,
look,
I was feeling Stacey, and I
look. Let me
really
tell you
was.
something. Let me tell you something, women. All the women, all the I would say non-earning spouses out there, get that shit on paper.
Mm.
Get it on paper. Okay? Look, even if you write it on the back of a receipt and you have him sign it, but you know what? It ain't even got to be no contract. Put it in an email. Oh, okay. So you're going to continue giving me this. Da, 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 da. Look, because baby, that's admissible in court. So what you can show is that you had an expectation of him giving you this money. So even if you do cut it off, but baby, it's even better to just get it written down on paper. Look, because this is the thing. Winds blow, winds change. You might become a drag king. And then what if you now Ash TOP and he don't want to give Ash TOP because you a dude and you can make your own money and he don't feel like he should support a dude or whatever other reason. So get it put on paper. It's not gonna hurt anybody. And I know you're trying to be the nice and stuff like that, but you also want to be able to take care of yourself and your child. So
Yeah.
I thought that was and yes, I would like to give a ding to that lawyer. Thank you. Because she was telling the truth. And I do like that Stacey was open to the revelations, because remember she went to the discovery
And discover some finances and
discuss.
some that she did not know.
Yeah.
And
So
so, yeah, you can't
I
trust.
love it that she was open, and I love that she took it to the group, and look, they gave her similar advice, like you should do what you do, girl. So
Absolutely. But I also feel like, again, Stacey reveals later in the episode that her husband is leaving their home that they have in Potomac and giving it to Stacey. So I do feel like he would take care of her child. But my thing is, girl, get the child
yeah,
support and get the spousal support, and like let's not even leave it up to him.
I agree. I
and
think he will try to take care of his child, but things change. That's the thing.
mhm.
Things change. It's not that he has ill will in his heart, but like, let's just get it set in stone, and we'll have no fuss, no muss about it.
Right. We don't have nothing. Right. That's what I feel. Then we get to meet up with TJ. TJ and Stacey. Now, mind you, going into this conversation, I was a little over TJ because he's like, where you been? I feel like you're hiding me. I'm like, TJ, how is she hiding you? And you are her love interest. I mean, best friend this season.
Yeah,
How?
it's very funny. Like, are you best friends? But TJ's like, no, I need you to tell people I'm dating. I'm like, why,
Okay.
TJ? I was like, I don't even understand that, TJ.
No, TJ won me over because when Stacey was like, when Stacey revealed to him that her husband is leaving the home, giving the home to her, TJ was like, can I come over? And of course, she was
So
like,
y'all can have Bible study over Zoom.
listen, TJ wants more time with Stacey. Now, do I think TJ is perfect? No, but I like the fact that he is willing to wait. Stacey was saying all this stuff about like, you have never been married, you don't have kids, like you don't understand what it's like. I am mourning an old life of mine. So while I am very interested in, getting to know you and seeing where this can progress, I'm still mourning. I'm still going through the process. And not TJ got all choked up and started crying and was like, I will wait
I
for
was
you. I was like,
I
come
was very,
on.
very confused.
Listen, I want a man that's gonna wait for me.
TJ's very patient. So kudos to TJ and his patience.
Yes. Another touching part of this episode I wanted to get into was Giselle and her kids. Giselle's daughters are
Um,
all going to be moving out. She's at the Container Store. I've been to the Container Store. Where
so I'd like to point out that Grace and her and her financial advice. Don't worry about the bank account. God got you, girl. I was like, Grace,
Okay, and by God, we mean Jamal Bryant. Also, on
will
episode
provide.
14, we saw at the end where Wendy kind of like got all the girls to spill all the stuff, and they asked Giselle if she was going to Pastor Jamal Bryant's wedding. Giselle said no. They were like, "Have you seen the new wife?" Giselle was like, "I've seen her. She don't hold the candles to me." Well, baby, the new first.
No, 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 no. She said she's not on my level.
Oh, okay. Now, mind you, I have seen Jamal's new wife. I've seen the photos from the wedding.
Google.
She is gorgeous, and she clapped
She
back
didn't
at
say
you.
she wasn't. She
She
didn't say she wasn't
she clapped
gorgeous. She
back
said
at Giselle though on
she's not on
Instagram.
my level,
Okay. She
which
said
means a
mean
different
girls
thing.
never win. Da 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 da. She tried to keep it political and correct. But anyway,
Let
Pastor
me
Jamal.
let me tell you. So I just want to do a callback to Real Housewives of New York, Bethany, and the model chick
Jason.
Kelly Ben Simone,
Oh,
and she was like, "You're up here."
all right.
She was like, "I'm up here, and you're down here." That's what Giselle was saying. She's up here, and Duval's his wife is down there. So that's not saying she's not pretty. Pretty faces, if you get enough work
Well,
done and go to Kiana's beauty, wellness and beauty spa, you can look pretty. That doesn't mean you're up here with Giselle or on her level. So
well, listen, Giselle's beautiful. The new wife is beautiful, but the new wife definitely did clap back in a very classy way. However,
Carrie Turner is her
they
name. She's
are
very
getting
pretty.
yeah, she is pretty. They are getting ready for Giselle's kids to go to school. Giselle's kind of shopping. Giselle reveals to the girls that like she still is in litigation about her father's will. And generational wealth is very important to her girls, and that she's buying a rental property near the twins' schools so that she can visit, but also kind of being able to leave that house to the girls. Something that touched me a lot was, I guess, maybe during Christmas time, I guess it was a question of what they were going to do about getting a Christmas tree this year, because after Giselle and Jamal Bryant broke up, Giselle reveals that her father stepped in and said that every year we're going to make this a tradition that I'm
Mhm.
going to come down and we're going to get the Christmas tree together. So this will be something that you and the girls and me will have together. And when I just say, I loved that because I love traditions. I feel like I'm the only one in my family that really tries to make or keep traditions. And so that really just hit different. And especially with Giselle losing her father. And she's like, there will never be a Christmas that we put a Christmas tree up, or my girls, when they're older, they'll put a Christmas tree up that they will not think about my dad. And I just love stuff like that.
So this was the cryy part. I loved her relationship with her dad. Her dad was very supportive. I hope she wins over the will dispute, because the people who prey on old people in their last moments are truly despicable. I love it. Her dad was always there for her. Love it. Just dad stuff, like stuff you're supposed to do. Let her make mistakes. Look, when she was talking about getting back together with Giselle, with
Which I'm all,
Jamal, and he was like, "Gotta go." Look, excuse me,
I
I'm going
forgot.
to the bathroom at home.
He did not wear any parts with Jamal. I forgot about that.
Oh God, he's like, I'm going to the bathroom at home. I'll see y'all later. Peace out. And when he hosted, he was so charming when he hosted them when they went down to New Orleans. You could see that they have a great relationship and love for their dad. So I love the little call out, and I'm still I wrote down the advice. Don't worry about your bank account. God got it. So I'm gonna write that probably on a
Okay.
sign on my house on my wall, because I totally agree.
Okay.
So
If
now
God
this
got
is
it.
also what I found to be quite an interesting part, and where Kiana, K Stewart Beauty and Wellness, comes into play, is that everybody is talking about Karen and how they're concerned about Karen, and she's looking gaunt. She wasn't eating a lot. She was very quiet on the trip. I love the concern. And K Stewart comes in with her very, expert opinion. She was like, I think that's the Ozempic. Oh,
Yeah.
tell us more, Kiana Stewart, like where we can get a prescription, and can we get one from K Stewart Wellness Ability? They're
Okay.
about to try to lose a little weight, getting this, these clothes, trying to get ready for the spring. But
Listen.
anyway, and I just love it. And Kiana gives us a little bit of tea. She's like, yeah, this is my field. I know what it looked like. And she basically drops some knowledge on the girls. And Karen confirms it. She was like, talking about her pre-diabetes. We know that runs in Black families. So, she's just trying to stay healthy. It's not all about the weight, it's about getting her A1Cs down into the correct levels. And I'm here for it. So
Yes,
that was funny.
that
And
was.
then Karen, who I love for this, tries is, giving the girls a little bit of a science lesson. She's like, I'm not on Ozempic. I'm actually on semaglutide.
Oh, okay. They said, well, what's the active ingredient in semaglutide?
She was like, "Oh, yeah, isn't Ozempic semaglutide the active ingredient in Ozempic?" Yes. Oh, so you're on Ozempic. Look, I was like, "Girl, way to just edge around that." Like, look, she edged right on around it, and so that was funny. We have confirmations that Karen is just trying to take care of her arteries are 60-70% blocked,
Oh,
and she's just trying to help that out. So I feel good for that she's being proactive about her health, and don't hate on her. Okay, girls, don't hate. And then episode 15, child, they ended with Karen going to Giselle and telling her the Ray updates that he got from Gordon, and basically them going to confront Mia because it ain't adding up. 1 and 1 is no longer 3. It's like 2.567. And so they go and they're like, hey, this is not really adding up. And really, honestly, in the whole thing of this, the smoking gun is the paternity test. And here come, this is an Ashley Draft too. Here come old motor mouth Jacqueline, thinking she helping.
okay.
Oh no. She didn't know that long about the paternity thing and blah blah yada yada yada.
Giselle said, oh, so
And
you knew. Oh, so you knew too.
girl, girl, hush. Like, you are not helping. So this is where when it just starts to become funny. And this is kind of where we ended, right? Like that, yes, they all knew about the paternity. She didn't bring it to the group yet, which honestly, all me had to say is like, I wasn't ready. And she did.
But
It
here's the
wasn't a
thing,
very
though.
strong argument. But also, why are y'all believing Gordon? He crazy.
Yeah, well, that right. We can't believe Gordon. We can't believe me. However, this is what I'm going to believe about Gordon. I'm going to believe that Gordon has the kids 25 out of the 30 days because, again,
You think so?
here's why I believe so. Because in the
Okay.
storyline, Mia is like, yeah, Gordon moved into the same building as me. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm trying to do my own. Like, it's like, girl, you knew you wanted him in the building. We see when you and Ink are there, Gordon pop up. Where's my iPad for the kids? Like, it is very clear that, like, the picture that she's trying to paint of Gordon, it just doesn't add up. Because I'm sorry, if my ex-husband is not moving in the same building as to me, if you're describing what you're describing, it's giving like, right, like you're using Gordon. Then when Gordon explained that, like, he was like, I found some unfavorable details about where my kids was staying at, and I pulled
Yeah.
up and I got my kids.
Basically, yeah. And you know what? She didn't say all that. And I do think she's using Gordon as a free babysitter, and he's crazy when it's convenient to her. And I do think he loves his kids, but she is using him, and he probably is crazy. But you know what? Not crazy enough for you not to let him stay and use the kids and have free
Well, right.
babysitting.
And Gordon also revealed that, like, they paused the divorce. Like, they're actually going to,
Now
like,
I don't know if I believe that,
well,
because
why wouldn't you
he
believe it? Because,
been trying to pause the divorce for forever.
well, why wouldn't you believe it? Because on New Year's Day, we get a post of Gordon and Mia, new beginnings.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. The
So,
point is, she make it like it's very confusing. And the thing is, if you don't want to talk about it, then don't talk about
but
it.
she can't use that excuse, J'tia,
No,
because,
no, what I'm saying is, if you don't want to talk about it, you need to consistently not talk about it.
well,
If you
right.
don't talk about it, then clearly, just like you keep talking about how many times you didn't kiss Jacqueline and all this other kind
Okay.
of stuff,
Clearly, you
then
keep
you either in or out.
right,
That's
all
the thing.
season, you bringing up Karen, her going to jail, drinking and driving, these other men. You doing that all season. You've made this your storyline. And not only have you made it your storyline, it's been in the headlines. Not only has it been in the headlines, you are confiding in the girls, crying on camera to them. It is asinine of you not to think that when the girls hear different information, they're going to bring it up to you on camera, just like you confided with them in camera, Mia. And so she going back and forth. I was cracking up when she was like, you're effing every man that will have you. You're drinking and driving. I was dying at Giselle's confessional. Giselle was like, okay, well, we know Karen doing her thing on the side. That's not news. We know Karen crashed into a tree. She's probably going to jail. That's not news. What else do you have, Mia? And what I just thought was so interesting was when they brought up the paternity, Kiana wasn't with it. Kiana was like, that's a little too much. But what does Mia do? Mia walks out. Mia's like, I'm good. I can't do this. And it's just like, now we know.
Well, you know what? I think really what's the shame in all this is that she's going to miss Ashley's drag king performance. So you have to remember why everybody is there.
Okay, we are here for Ashton.
We are here for Ashton. I wanted you to give your opinion on her look. Would you smash?
No. No, first of all, Ashley's beautiful. Okay, so yes, I'm going to say yes.
Wait, would you smash Ashley or Ashton?
Ashley.
Ashley, not Ashton.
Yeah, not Ashton, because they're one
that leads to more questions for me than anything.
It for next week when we're back covering episode 16 and 17. We appreciate you listening and tuning in to the Real Housewives of Potomac season 9 on the Purple Pants podcast. J'tia,
yes,
Dr. Hart.
Thank you for having me. I think our question for the viewers in the comments should be smash or pass on Ashton.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, by the time, so we'll record. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We appreciate you. Stay warm. This has been your Purple Pants podcast coverage of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Bye. We're out.
Bye. See ya.
It's the Purple Pants podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants podcast. You're trying to unwind. You better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants podcast. You're trying to get your snack. You better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.